This week, I am talking about the aftermath of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard and what's the deal with Kingdom Hearts Collection on Switch. Let's just go ahead, together, as a people, and take it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and this week I am talking again about the Activision Blizzard, Microsoft buying acquisition, whatever it is. So if you missed that story, I actually did a live stream super early in the morning. It was unannounced, but I felt like I had to talk about it. So I'll link that up above if you want to go back and watch that. It's only like 16 minutes. I just gave my initial feelings on the announcement and the future of gaming and all that stuff. And by the way, if you don't want to miss out on my video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when I do a random live stream at 4 o'clock in the morning. I plan on doing more random live streams, so if you don't want to miss it, I'll try to schedule them better next time. But I will be doing more live streams, so if you don't want to miss them, just make sure to hit the bell notification. If you want to, that's up to you, but you know, I'll be here either way, no matter how you watch. But the important thing to take away is Microsoft is going to purchase Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. And that's supposed to close June of 2023, as long as everything goes through with the regulators fine. So the first tidbit that came out last week after the initial news broke was that Sony stock dropped 12% after the announcement. And the word that's popping on the street is, of course, it's related to this whole Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, because Call of Duty has been like one of the top selling games on PlayStation for years. They had like an exclusive deal with them for advertising, you know. For a while we were getting that exclusive content first only on PlayStation for Call of Duty because they had struck an exclusive deal with them. So it's kind of a big deal right now if they lost Call of Duty. Personally, I don't follow the stock market. I don't know about any of it. The only thing I ever hear though is like, oh, the stock market is going crazy. They all are jumping away because they're all scared. It seems like this happens all the time. I do feel like it's kind of a stupid reaction. I mean, I don't know for sure if that's the reason that it dropped 12%. That's just what this article that I read said. But it just seems dumb. Like, for one, if they do decide to make Call of Duty an exclusive, like the new Call of Duty games exclusive, that wouldn't even happen probably for at least another 2 years. Because if the deal goes through, they won't own Activision Blizzard until June of next year, which means the Call of Duty that comes out that fall would have been developed before the deal was in place, so they would have no reason not to put it on a PlayStation console because Microsoft didn't own them, and possibly the next one after that would probably already be in development too. So in reality, we could see still 2023 and 2024 where the Call of Duty games are multi-platform. Like, there's no reason to jump right now and be like, oh, well, Sony's in trouble. And plus, again, we don't know if Microsoft will make it an exclusive. I do think that Warzone will probably stay multi-platform, but it could be like when the new mainline games come out, they might be Game Pass exclusive, you know, on Xbox and PC. So that was kind of the first major backlash that happened because of this. I'm sure their stock will recover. I just think it's kind of a stupid overreaction if that is the reason that their stock dropped. Of course, because the stock dropped, they had to go ahead and kind of respond to the whole situation, not just for their investors, but also fans of the PlayStation, people who might have just bought a PlayStation 5. And they basically said that they're sure that Activision is still going to honor their contractual agreements even after they're purchased by Microsoft. They pretty much imply that the games are probably going to stay multi-platform. I don't know. It was kind of vague what they said. I don't know if they still have something in place with Activision around Call of Duty where it would keep it multi-platform longer. Because from what I read in the article, it seemed like they at one point before had that deal with them in place for the exclusive content for PlayStation. So I don't know if they have some kind of deal in place that would basically prevent Microsoft from making it an exclusive for a number of years. Now, Microsoft still could do something where it's like going to be free on Game Pass, which they probably would do either way. And I don't think Sony is going to be too worried about it. They still have years before this is a problem. So I think even if they do lose Call of Duty, they'll figure out something. They have some really good games on that platform. People on the Xbox side, of course, probably will get Call of Duty on Game Pass. I don't know what they're going to do with like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. If that's going to be included in Game Pass somehow, like maybe you get a WoW subscription included with Game Pass, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be enough for me to download WoW and play it for 5 minutes and be like, I still don't like this game. But you know, that'd be awesome. Now, the other little tidbit that came out is Phil Spencer did an interview with the Washington Post, and he's kind of trying to talk up the whole thing. If you watch my live stream, I was a little bit negative, especially towards the end, because it really just happened, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I still don't think it's a good thing for the industry overall to lose like a major publisher like this. It is what it is. We got to move on. I'm not like wound up about it anymore. But Phil Spencer, basically in an interview, was like, they have an opportunity to bring back some of the old franchises that have been forgotten about from Activision. But he did specifically mention like things like King's Quest, Guitar Hero, and Hexen. Of course, they'll get other stuff like Tony Hawk, depending on, you know, they still have the license to Tony Hawk or not, but they still technically own the existing Tony Hawk games. There's a bunch of stuff that Activision owns, a bunch of stuff that they don't even use anymore. So that is a good point. Microsoft needs games, and they could better utilize these old franchises. But it's a point that I didn't think about. Is like, Microsoft does need games on their platform, and there's a bunch of properties like IP that Activision has that they just don't use anymore. But something like Guitar Hero, I'd be extra excited if they brought Guitar Hero back. I mean, we have Rock Band 4, like we have the full kit and everything in the house still, taking up a bunch of space, just so we could still bust it out and play it. And I already got the Xbox adapter for the instruments. Let's go. I'm ready for another Guitar Hero. I'm not talking about Guitar Hero Live, which was all right, but then they killed it because it wasn't popular. They didn't know what they were doing. Look, let Microsoft do something with Guitar Hero. That's all I'm saying. I'd be fine with that. Either way, it'd be kind of cool to see some change from Activision, to see a lot more games come back out from Activision because they're a huge publisher, and not them just being a Call of Duty studio. Maybe they'll finally end the whole Call of Duty being a yearly game thing, because I think that was like such a revenue driver for Activision. They just didn't want to not put one out every year. But who knows? We're talking about hypotheticals here. The deal still has to be approved. That's essentially what's been going on since the announcement. Sony's shareholders went into panic. Sony put out their statement, and Microsoft is talking about bringing back some dead franchises. But you know what? Buying Activision Blizzard may have actually been a bad decision for Microsoft, because I just don't feel like they know how to make money for real, for real. Like, if you want somebody that knows how to make some money, you got to talk about Square Enix. And I'm talking about this port of the Kingdom Hearts game to the Nintendo Switch. So I had to talk about this. Like, look, this is the most garbage situation that I've seen in a while. So I've already talked about before that the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch, the full collection with all the games. Cool, whatever. First, they said it was going to be streaming only. They later clarified the reason it was going to be streaming only is because of the space constraints on the Switch, which I still feel like is stupid, because I feel like they still could have given the option for people that had the space to download the games. But whatever. So streaming only, and I was like, whatever, you know what? I don't think anybody that I know is going to buy it. I'm definitely not going to buy it. We already have like the PS4 version and the PC version of all the games, and Jeff is a mega fan, so he just rebuys the games like 800 times on 800 different platforms, and even he's not getting the Switch version. But the thing that I was surprised about is they're charging $72 for it right now to pre-order, and then after the pre-order period, it's going to be $90 for the full collection. The streaming collection, not even the game that's running natively on the Switch, streaming. I don't want to put down streaming like it's a bad thing, but there are a few concerns that I have. For one, no streaming service that I've tried has had like perfect latency, like as far as input lag. It's always had like a little bit of latency, and the games don't feel exactly the same. Even if technically the hardware they're running it on is more powerful than the Switch and it will have a frame rate advantage, the image is overall softer because you're streaming it. So I'm sure it will look sharper if it was a native version of the game, even if they're streaming it at a higher resolution than what the Switch supports, and, you know, downsampling it to 720 to run on like the screen and handheld, or maybe, you know, in docked mode they can technically run it like 4K and downsample it to 1080 to make up for that. But it still would probably look sharper if it was a native version of the game and feel more responsive, which is fine. But overall, I expected this to be $60, especially because, not saying that they're not putting any work into it, but obviously they're not putting any work into really porting the game to the system's hardware. They're just doing a streaming version, which is probably just running the PC version of the game, if I had to guess. Again, not saying that it's not any work, but it's kind of a lazy port to begin with. You can technically buy the games a la carte. I think they range from like $33 to $40 each. But yeah, it's trash. It's trash because the main reason to buy this game is, even though on the Switch, I might get a lesser experience. Like for instance, the GTA Trilogy. I knew it wasn't going to be as good as playing it on Xbox, PS5, or PC, but I got the Switch version. Tony Hawk, got the Switch version. You know why I got the Switch version? Because even though it's a lesser experience, I can play it portable, I can sit and chill, someone can be watching something on TV and I can sit there and play it. So I'll accept the lesser version if I can play it portable. You can't play it outside the house. Like, unless you got a really, really good hotspot that you can keep your Switch connected to, and you have a provider that doesn't charge you a buttload for data overages or throttle you after like a gig of data is used, then you pretty much will never be able to play this out of the house. This kind of defeats the purpose of the version. Like, yeah, you can play it handheld inside the house. It also depends on how good your Wi-Fi is inside the house too. A lot of people don't have good Wi-Fi. You might go into a room where there's interference, then you're gonna have problems. I really feel like, for one, this defeats the purpose of doing a Switch version of the game. And two, it's just way overpriced. Like, that's ridiculous. $90 for some old games. Like, when did Kingdom Hearts 3 release? Hold on, let me check. Because that's the newest one. Okay, like I thought, it's almost 3 years old at this point. Released in 2019 on console, and then it came to PC last year. So it's still a 3-year-old game. The newest game in the collection is still 3 years old. Like, all of those games collectively, and you bring it to a new platform, I could see $60. But $90? If Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out and it was a full $60 still in value, then I could see this collection being worth $90. But no, it's ridiculous, especially for technically what's going to be a lesser version of the game. It's just kind of disappointing, because I was talking to my friend Dijon, and he was like, well, I consider getting it for, you know, because I never got to play Kingdom Hearts, because he's a Nintendo only person. Like, he only buys Nintendo consoles, and I'm just like, it's probably not even worth playing in this way. But yeah, overall, I'll give Square this. They definitely know how to make money. They re-released Final Fantasy VII like 800 times before they finally did a remake. And then there was that whole Avengers fiasco. They do good stuff sometimes. I really enjoy the Final Fantasy VII remake. Sometimes they just do stuff where they're clearly just cash grabbing, and this is one of those situations. All right, I'm done ranting about money. I'm bringing this video to a conclusion. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe. And again, hit the bell notification to get notified when I drop videos. And always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.